back. I know you missed me, even though you saw me one video ago. That's okay. I missed you too. Today's video is going to be about cheaters. Yay! We love y'all. No, I'm just kidding. We actually hate y'all. But this is going to be another Reddit video for you today. If you like the last one, hopefully you'll like this one. Let's get right on into it. So, what is today's story? Let's see. What's your wildest cheating story, whether you witnessed it or experienced it? Now, I might have to put the glasses on again, depending on how many errors are in these paragraphs. Let's just see. Cheating is messy, painful, and sometimes downright unbelievable, whether it happened to you, a friend, or you were on the outside looking in. I'd love to hear the craziest, most unexpected, or even strangely funny cheating stories you may have come across. Let's hear it. No judgment, just curiosity. I'm judging. Hell yeah. All right, so my sister came to live with me and my husband because she was in an abusive relationship. I let her live with us rent-free, got her a job where I worked. I drove her to work and took her home, didn't ask her to pay for anything. I paid for it. Now my ex and her had sex while me and our daughter were upstairs asleep. I got to hear how bad sex was with my daughter. So I was dating a guy who was friends with one of my best friends, Brittany. Him and I broke up, then Brittany and him fucked and I found out. My dumbass still wanted him, so we had a secret relationship. As he said he didn't want people to know. He took me back because technically I broke up with him. Anywho, fast forward 3 months, those two got caught being together downtown, and her and I found out he's been having a relationship with both of us the last 3 months and fucked us on the same days, took us to the same spots, etc. Oh my gosh. Funny part is that they actually got married now and have a kid. Good for her being able to look past it, I guess. Knowing both of them know it's not a healthy relationship. She's abusive and he's emotionally abusive. I like to think I won out of the whole... You married him? Girl, some people are a different type of delusional. You mean... Moving on. My ex was a serial cheater. Caught him multiple times. But I was so convinced if I loved him hard enough, he'd change. Cringe. It escalated to these two women showing up to our house or my job looking for him. Some gloated about their relationships with him. This lasted a single week. I'll round back to this. Ex and I were very sexually active, up to 3 times a day. Ooh, I don't get tired. All of a sudden, he wouldn't go near me. It was so weird because normally if I said no, I'd be read the riot act. And I stayed. Oh, I get what she means. Cringe. He refused to have sex with me, refused to touch me at all, which was nice, don't get me wrong, but so abnormal. I'm confused. She said it was nice for him not to touch her? So you didn't want to have sex? So then why the fuck was you having sex? 3 times a day. Oh, well, she did just say if she said no, he would cause... Never mind, I get it. It's okay. He then asked me if I can start sleeping in the guest room because he drools a lot. Bullshit. That goes on for a solid month. He's not leaving the house as much. He's not blowing up as much. Not hitting the bar like he used to. And I'm just so confused. One morning, there's a ton of knocking on my door. So this is confusing. It's my brother's girlfriend. She looked so rough and upset. So we sat on our porch and talked about how much of a hit my relationship with ex has taken. I have no idea what she's talking about. I tell her how he's completely closed himself off and we don't even sleep in the same bed anymore. I don't know why or what happened. She starts having a panic attack and calls her boyfriend and she starts crying. The glasses are going on. That I probably have it. And I'm like, what's happening? Have what? Turns out the women who were harassing me that week were not just sleeping with my boyfriend, but were also supplying him with drugs. My ex, his bestie's brother and girlfriend were all sharing utensils one night with these two women. There was sex between some of them or all of them at some point. They all contracted hepatitis. They were looking for money he owed them and also to tell him the good news. They managed to catch up with him after a week of evasion. I about threw up hearing everything laid out. I ran. I immediately got tested for everything and the kitchen sink. Luckily, from previous employment, I am vaccinated for hepatitis B. Clean bill of health everywhere else. Although that was the worst time in my life for many abhorrent reasons. His distance and coldness at that time is one of the only things I'll give him credit for. The woman who had hepatitis knew she had it. That was a lot for people to deal with when it came out. There's no telling how many people she has gotten sick. She actually died not too long after, from an overdose. Hey to you, sister. Although you weren't a good person, still RIP you. Fuck, that was a lot. I miss Bunny. Oh my goodness. I miss her. Anyway, another one. Ex in 2017. Dated him and his best friend got jealous immediately and slept with him multiple. That's one hell of an intro. Hold on. Even called me on his phone in the middle of doing it. I didn't stay to listen. Just hung up and told him to call me in the morning. He told me I was too clingy. We haven't spoken in 3 days. How are you clingy? I ain't spoken 3 days. He said I was being unreasonably jealous. I'm about to blow this bitch up. You've your best friend multiple times, and she's being. I never expressed any sort of jealousy. I allowed for him to do anything so long as he texts me when he's going to sleep and has woken up. I just wanted to know he was safe. You're dumb. He said his best friend had a bad feeling about me. Ironic. We broke up. He hooked up with his best friend for 2 days, and they broke up because his best friend just didn't see him that way. I was removed from his life, and his friend all of a sudden no longer liked him romantically / sexually anymore. Wild. Asked for us to date again. I said I don't date stupid and blocked him. This whole, y'all all dumb. And then she had another story underneath. It said ex in 2018, TW, murder attempt. That's crazy. How do we go from that to murder?
Let's finish this conversation another time. I have your competition on the phone. Let's finish this conversation another time. I have your competition on the phone.
Only dated him for about 2.5 weeks, but he was cheating after a week of dating. That wasn't in the post, my bad. I said he was fine to keep cheating, but not to act surprised if he doesn't see me again. 16 days into us dating, I sent him the text at the time, we're done, don't call me. Apparently he didn't register it until we went a whole month no contact. Hits me up, asks me to go out and get some dinner. He missed his sweetheart and wanted to apologize for not giving me enough attention. I said we had not been partners since I caught him cheating the second time, which was about a month ago. From when he reached out again, he cried on call, texted me please on repeat when I refused to answer his calls. Told me I was making a mistake because he loved me and I was everything to him. I dated for 2 weeks.
Now you're chasing clout. That's what we're not going to do.
I told him to cry somewhere else. He threatened to kill me and successfully stabbed me while I was on college campus. Holy crap. Another student saw and called for help. Campus police took me to the hospital, got stitches, recovered, got a restraining order. He tried to tell me I did it to myself because I shouldn't have made him act like that. And because he was white and had daddy's money, he didn't get any jail time, even though he stabbed me with the intent to kill me. He also did not listen to the restraining order and tracked me down a month later. My paranoia saved me because my fight or flight kicked in faster than ever, and I happened to hurt him before he could hurt me fatally. He left a bruise from tightly grabbing my wrist and forearm, but I broke his arm and gave his family, Jules, a taste of my foot. Police came to my door within a few hours, and I told them about the restraining order and showed them my bruise. They dismissed themselves from my doorsteps and sent me to a court summons instead. Went to court, told them again about the restraining order, showed them a few photos on my house of my bruise. By that time, I no longer had a bruise. His parents said I sought out revenge. He had a fractured forearm and penis fracture and a small bruise. I stood there with the most confused face until the judge dismissed the case in possible disbelief. I didn't get sued, never saw him again, and started seeing someone else a few months later, doing much better now. I remember this event the most because it's giving me PTSD and I wish it wasn't real. Just glad I'm not dating a cheater anymore. I love my silly partner. You mean to tell me, I needed to pause for a second, I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that your first boyfriend cheated on you with his best friend, kept fudging her. I need to stop cussing before you text my video down. Kept fudging her, And she would call you while they were fudging to let you know, to basically let you hear. And then she broke up with him because she didn't see him like that. When in reality, she just wanted you to know that she could have him. She didn't actually care about him. Maybe she wanted you, who knows? And then you go from that to then dating a man for 2 weeks and he attempts to kill you, not once, but twice. And then very shortly after, you decide to date somebody else. Are you okay, friend? I think we went past that way too fast. I don't know. Wow. Now, let's see. I was the love of his life. He used to look at me like I held the world in my hands. Oh, that's cute. He would tell me that I was beautiful and that I was wonderful, and we got along so well together. He was my friend. He was my everything. I gave him 2 children, and after the birth of our first child, I started getting sick and having problems with numbness and other issues. After our second child, I started having more issues. We were married for 20 years when my 16-year-old son caught him online talking to women. Then later, my 20-year-old son at the time caught him talking to women online. Both of them brought their findings to me. We thought we had reconciled and worked on our relationship, but I guess we hadn't done enough. I got sicker and ended up in a wheelchair. The stress was crazy. I developed MS. Then he started having physical affairs with women. The first physical affair he had, he nearly got shot in the parking lot at our local grocery store with a married woman when her husband caught them. Her children were in her car, and she and my husband were in a state of undress in his car. You can imagine. I decided on a post-nuptial agreement to protect our assets as he was spending money on these women. Smart. His second physical affair, which was the last one, it never really got started. He called me and told me that he had to go on a trip to our state for a conference and had to take with him his intern who called herself his work wife. I had never heard that term before until this happened. It kind of upset me. I refused to allow him to carpool and sleep in the same hotel with that woman and pursued divorce. I threw all of his things that I can get my hands on and started a fire. Yes, girl. Bowling balls don't burn, by the way. That is hilarious. What the fuck? My neighbors and my cousin, the sheriff, and ex-boyfriend. By the way, my neighbors, my cousin, the sheriff, and ex-boyfriend, the fire chief were watching me. Burned it to dust. They just watched it. Well, you know what? Honestly, let it burn. His newest AP, the intern, moved him out at the time our divorce went through. Actually, her husband and my ex, because I refused to let her in the house. Her hubby left her because the whole time he was helping. I was telling him my ex was cheating with his wife. That's a lot. Why do y'all do this? That's a lot. Oh my goodness. Anyway, next story. I'm a gay guy. I was in a relationship with my ex for around 5 years when I discovered he was cheating with all people but a religious school teacher. Stupidly, I forgave him. Make sure my mic's still on. And thought we could work it out. I was seeing a psychiatrist and I was on antidepressants. I thought everything was good and I eventually got off the antidepressants. There was a friend of ours that was very supportive, would listen to me when I needed to vent and gave me a lot of great advice, or so I thought. And then discovered he was also cheating with his so-called friend. As soon as I found out about the other guy, I ended the relationship and kicked my ex out. Looking back, there were so many red flags. But as I say, live and learn. It's been 14 years and I've never been in a relationship since and I never will be. That makes me so sad. He posted this a year ago, bro. I hope he finds love. This is the thing. Before I read the next one, people don't realize that their actions can have very long-term effects on people. It's not even about, oh, I just wanted to have my fun. You're having your fun, not realizing that you have just potentially messed up the individual that you were supposed to be loving for a very long time. Just for what? A fling? You did this for a fling? It just makes me sad because there's a lot of really good people out there and they somehow always end up having to go through hell before they can find love. And then sometimes they don't even make it to the point of being able to find love before they give up. Sometimes all it takes is that one time and then they're done. That just makes me so sad. I hope he finds love. I've also been cheated on, as many other people have. I've been cheated on. I've dealt with The lying, the stealing, the fucking gaslighting, all of that. I've dealt with that. And it made me mad. But you want to know what makes me even more mad? Is that no matter how much I go through, I refuse to give up on love because I know it's real. I see it from other people. I'm not going to give up on love because somebody hurt me. But it's easier said than done because I be saying, F y'all, I don't like none of y'all. Y'all can suck. I'm so mad. And it makes me sad. But I know that I'll get mine. I know that I'll fall in love with somebody and they'll treat me right. And they'll treat me so good that I'll never have to worry about anything ever again. And boo, I know that day is coming. Just keep seeing. We're gonna try to go into another forum. Let's see. Oh, that's nasty. Cheating story time. Y'all, what the fuck? Alright, it said cheating story time. My boyfriend ate me out after some other guy. YouTube, please do not take this down. This is literally the name. I had my boyfriend take me to another guy's place. I told him I was visiting a friend to do a college project. Partially true, but the guy was kind of cute and his voice was like someone mixed chocolate and music together. I ain't never heard that description. Ooh, I need that. We get to discussing the assignment and he keeps touching me suggestively. At this point, I'm starting to get really WET. Long story short, we end up doing the dirty tango and he finishes in me. I usually use protection, but this wasn't planned. My boyfriend later picks me up and he's feeling in the mood and eager to get straight to it. He starts going down on me, a very considerate lover, as you should all be, and comments on how WET and how different I. That's disgusting. Oh, that's nasty. Anyway, I just thought I'd get this out of my system. That is probably the biggest HOE moment of all time. I've never done anything like that, and I definitely would not cheat again. I just needed to confide in someone. Thank you all. I've had guys inboxing me wishing they were my boyfriend and begging me to recreate this exact scenario with them as my boyfriend, LOL. Some have even offered to pay me. You guys are nasty. I don't know if I'll go that far. Maybe I'll consider starting an OnlyFans in the distant future, but for now I'm okay and don't need the money. My boyfriend takes good care of me and I don't think he'd approve. You don't think he would approve of that, but you think that you know what? Somebody said yes, because like every normal woman, you just kept the load in and didn't wash up after you finished. Guess you actually need some actual experience for this kind of LARPing. Obviously, most of the load was out because I pissed after dirty tango, but I didn't have time to wash up. He picked me up and took me straight to his place and we got down. That is, somebody said, you are absolutely scum and should do the guy a favor and tell the truth. Keeping it a secret is to protect you and you alone, with no real care for the man you're with. This is why so many men turn from relationships, because they see all this stuff online and realize that if a woman can do this and lie about it, so can the woman they are with. Tell him if you are a decent person. Don't if you're not. But I at least want you to know that the world knows you're doing nothing but protecting your interests. She said, LOL, calm down. This happened last year. We've been going strong ever since. Why would I want to ruin his happiness?
Relax. Cause we ain't gonna do too much playing, man. So relax. Stay out of that.
Are there people like this in real life? Like, what? He said, because you respect him and the truth, he would prefer to know than not to know, whether it hurts him or not. You don't want to ruin your happiness, which tells me he has some material worth to you. He'd be upset for a while. I'm sure he can find a good woman that can offer him what you obviously cannot. She said, how about I don't, and we pretend I did. I don't like him for his money. He splurges on me and is generous. But I've had relationship offers from older men with more money. Did she say how old she was? She didn't say how old she was. But you know what? She sounds young. Really young. 18-year-old young. That's, girl, what's another one? Oh, should I do this one? Ooh, I found a good one, bitch. I found a good one. What is the dirtiest, most inappropriate, messed up cheating affair story you personally know of or have been a part of? Some mutual friend, two couples. One recently has a newborn, so couple A went to visit couple B. Couple B wife says she'll go upstairs to show new couple A husband, the child, when couple A wife is talking downstairs with couple B husband. I hope this is not confusing because this is exactly how they wrote it. Couple A wife and couple B husband sat next to a baby speaker thing, heard the lewdest ish they swear they've ever heard coming through their respective partner's mouth, talking about how they're excited for their getaway soon since the baby is out. Both so new each other's partners are going somewhere for a business trip prior, and how they're going to F each other's. Them baby monitors be getting people in trouble. Oh my gosh. Cheating significant others walk down the stairs as if they didn't do anything. Awkward silence. Couple B husband says, consider yourself divorced.
Oh my God!
As it turns out, eventually, the story broke out that they've been close at a workplace. The cheaters work at the same company. It has been going on. I can't even talk. I'm so in shock right now. And cheater and fuck. That's so messed up, bro. What? And it has been going on for a long time. What in the world? So, OP, the original creator of the subreddit, said, thanks for the story. That is really messed up. He didn't say messed up. He said effed up, but I don't want to be taken down. And is an interesting way for the spouses to find out about an affair. The thought of what the other wife and husband were thinking and feeling while sitting together downstairs and listening to that is so awful to think about. While I admit that stories like this can be erotic, I also want to say that I really want that it is really wrong and hurtful. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. And then they said, FYI, to clarify, I am not asking about incest. I am more curious if anyone has or knows of a messed up cheating story where a guy slept with or effed around with his wife's or girlfriend's mom, sister, mother-in-law, or best friend. They're just asking so many wild questions. I can't read none of this. Oh my gosh. This is a story. So I lived in Amsterdam in 2011 to 2012, and prior to moving, I belonged to a board that focused on coffee shops and cannabis culture where I interacted with Anon. When I moved there, I met Anon in real life, and Anon was dating an American girl from Orange County. I am born and raised in LA, which is basically the same thing aside from extra white people around the orange curtain. She was a law student and they had plans on moving to the States together for her law school. Well, he moves from Amsterdam into a ish-hole apartment while she goes to school. They get married and make all sorts of plans for the future here in Southern California, etc. Fast forward to January 2015. She's doing her internship at a local law center that helps those that can't afford lawyers. Well, she ends up sleeping with one of the clients and he catches them, like Ed movie style, with no family and no options. He gets cucked as she had an open relationship with dude while Anon had to put up the ish. As soon as I heard this, I came begging him to come to LA. I worried his putting up with it might wane and he would end up doing something. Ooh, this went on for 2 months until I got a call from him asking for a plane ticket. She had become pregnant.
So we didn't learn from last time. We didn't learn. Comprehension.
He's divorced, a permanent resident, and dating a really awesome girl. It ended well, but he was, I don't know what that is, for 2 years. What did he mean by that? They put R/2 MEIRL. What does that mean? For 2 years. Best guy ever too. Poor thing. My mouth is dry. Oh, moisture. Okay. Wow, compared to a friend's story, but got a lot of legal stuff that I'm not comfortable writing. A lot of illegal stuff I'm not comfortable writing. Man, I want a steak sandwich. I've been thinking about that this whole time. Like, I'm gonna make me one as soon as I'm done finishing this video. Gonna put some cheese, Worcestershire sauce, steak seasoning, mud trucking, sourdough bread that's toasted on both sides with my homemade garlic butter. I'm so excited. Anyway, my girlfriend told me she was going home to her family for Christmas. I was like, cool, makes sense. Paid for the flight as a present. Where are you finding these men? A few days after Christmas, she messages me. She already bought her own flight to a completely different state before telling me about wanting to go home for Christmas. And had moved in with another dude. Wouldn't take a call, so I had a freaking schoolyard snipe fest in chat while she said, will you just break up with me already so I can sleep with him and it won't be cheap?
What are you talking about, man?
Oh my gosh. 6 or 7 years later, and question mark, it's still the only reaction my brain has to that line. I can't even entertain the level of mental gymnastics required. What is wrong with people? Goodness. Okay, kind of boring. Let me see if I can find something else. I cheated on my honeymoon. Y'all are freaking crazy. Ooh. Mistress is my new boss. You got me so... No way. I gotta flip my iPad around. I gotta take this one. Okay, it's just completely insane. I'm still reeling from it. My husband and I were going through a rough patch a few months ago. He was distant, withdrawn, secretive. I confronted him and he eventually admitted he'd been seeing someone else. Y'all are irritating. It was a coworker. He said a one-time thing. It's never a one-time thing. We agreed to try to fix things, not doing that. We've been in therapy for a bit and I thought we were actually making progress. You're not. Then last week I got promoted at work. It was a huge step up for me, something I've been working towards for years. I was ecstatic. My husband even seemed genuinely happy for me. I'm sure, like, what do you mean even seemed? Excuse me. The first day on the new role was today. I walked into the office and there she was, sitting at the desk that's literally across from me. She was introduced as my new supervisor, the woman, the one he cheated on me with. I'm quitting. I almost threw up right then and there. She recognized me too. I could see it in her eyes. It was like a deer caught in headlights. She stammered a greeting and I just nodded with my head somehow. I don't even remember what I said. I spent the whole day trying to avoid eye contact. Every time she spoke, I just wanted to scream. How could this happen? What kind of cosmic joke is this? My husband works in a completely different department, so he didn't know about my new boss. I haven't even told him yet. I can't even process it. I feel like I'm gonna burst. Just need to get this off my chest. Nope. I would talk to HR and request a new supervisor. You both working at the same company and him cheating on you with someone there is diabolical. I don't even have the word to explain. Like, that is torture. That is fucking torture. Oh my gosh. He's a piece of course he ish where he eats. Sorry, OP. Nope. Not doing it. My girlfriend cheated on me. Aw, has a photo. Okay, lady. Sorry, found a better one. My ex-husband impregnated me and his girlfriend. What should I do?
Oh my!
So what you can do is you can get rid of him, hide the body, find a millionaire, marry him. All jokes. So I found out that I'm accidentally pregnant again. How you accidentally get pregnant? Did you accidentally sleep with the bruh? See this? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be on your side. Hold on. It's my ex-husband, who is also the father of my 2 children. Obviously, this was not planned. Birth control failed me. We're divorced and we shouldn't have been sleeping together in the first place. This seems to happen a lot. What's that about? But it happened. I found out I was pregnant and then I had to tell him. What I didn't know was that he had a girlfriend and also got her pregnant. Yes, he cheated on her with me and now we're both pregnant by him at the same time. So you mean to tell me you got a divorce, got into a new relationship, got your girlfriend pregnant, and still went back to your ex and cheated on your new girlfriend with your ex, who also didn't know that you had a new girl? When he told me, he said he planned to tell her after they got back from a trip they had planned. But almost immediately, he started begging me to have an abortion. A huge part of his reason seems that he does not want anybody to find out that he cheated on her. He's worried about what will happen if she finds out, and what people will think of him and whether she will tell anyone. He has also told me that he will want nothing to do with my baby if I continued the pregnancy. He said he would continue to have 50 custody of our 2 children, but he would not have anything to do with his baby. And that part honestly breaks my brain. This would be his child too, a baby who would be a full biological sibling of the 2 children we already have. But he is basically saying that because his pregnancy is inconvenient and would expose what he did, he would simply remove himself from the situation. And this is the thing that I don't understand, right? People always say, like, you have a choice. Women typically don't have this kind of choice. Like, they do, but they don't. Men are always doing that BS where they decide they don't want to be a part of their kids' lives, even though they helped make the baby, and right? And still somehow decided that even though they knew the possibility, they don't want anything to do with it. How are you allowed to just decide that you don't want to be involved in the life of the child you made? Like, I think this is the most baffling situation here, because they're divorced. They have 2 kids together already. It would be one thing I hear more often is that they weren't together, or they were together, and they ended up this is their first kid, and the guy's nervous. He doesn't know what to do, doesn't want to be involved, doesn't want to be a daddy, doesn't want to pay for her to get an abortion, but wants her to get an abortion, and just disappears. And it's like, I could go on and on. Like, he has made it very clear that he wants me to get an abortion, and I understand why he thinks his pregnancy will make everything incredibly complicated. If his girlfriend is pregnant too, there could potentially be 2 babies being born around the same time, and his infidelity will be impossible to hide. Our children could have a half-sibling that they know about, while he's simultaneously trying to maintain this other family. There could be custody issues, financial issues, relationship between the children, his girlfriend finding out about what happened, and just an enormous amount of emotional fallout that he created, by the way. But the thing is, I am the one who's actually pregnant. I am the one who would have to live with whatever decision I make. And I have always known something about myself. If I had an abortion when I didn't truly want one, I don't think I would ever stop thinking about that child. I would always think about the person they could have become. I would know that there was a potential life that I chose not to bring into the world, and I'm scared that I would carry that grief and regret forever. That doesn't mean that I think abortion is wrong. I know people make the choice for all kinds of reasons, and I believe it can absolutely be the right choice for somebody. But I also know myself well enough to know that I cannot make decisions solely because someone else is afraid of the consequences of their own actions. I'm deciding whether I can bring a child into a situation where their father has already told me he doesn't want them. I'm thinking about what that would mean for my 2 existing children. I'm thinking about money, child care, my ability to work, my relationship with their father, and what happens if his girlfriend stays with him and has her baby too. I'm scared that the child will grow up feeling unwanted by their father. I'm scared that my other children would get caught in the middle. I'm scared that I would have to completely change the dynamic of all of our lives. He'll be mad at me as if it's my fault. I'm also not sure why he doesn't care about wanting anything to do with this baby who is innocent just because of how they've been conceived. Yet he doesn't care that treating the child like that will only make him look like an even more terrible person to others. If he cares so much about his image, I would think that he would care to minimize the damage of his reputation. He's a dummy. He doesn't think that far. But I'm also scared of ending a pregnancy that I might have desperately wanted if the circumstances were different. And there's another layer that makes this even harder. Part of me feels like he's asking me to absorb the consequences of his cheating so that he doesn't have to. He made the decision to cheat. He made the decision to sleep with me. He made the decision to continue his relationship with his girlfriend. And now that there is a pregnancy, I understand that he's terrified. I understand that he doesn't want this relationship to fall apart. He doesn't want anyone to know what he did. And I don't think his fear of being exposed can be the thing that determines whether or not I become a mother to this baby. At the same time, I don't want to romanticize the situation. This isn't some perfect baby story where everything magically works out because I love the baby enough. There are very real consequences here, and if I continue the pregnancy, I may have to raise this child essentially on my own. I'm saying, I may have to deal with their father being absent. Can I even handle that? I may have to establish child support and legal arrangements. My child may have to navigate a complicated family situation, and I may have to watch their father participate fully in the lives of her first 2 children while choosing not to participate in this child's life. I'm gonna save it to the end. That's heartbreaking to even imagine. So I'm stuck between 2 fears. One is the fear of bringing a child into a situation that can be incredibly difficult. The other is the fear that I could end a pregnancy because someone else doesn't want to face the consequences of what he did, and then spend the rest of my life wondering who that child could have been. I don't know what the right answer is, and I don't think anyone else can make this decision for me. So the question I keep coming back to is, if his girlfriend didn't exist, if he wasn't terrified of being caught, and if he told me that he would support me no matter what would I do with this pregnancy? And then I have to ask myself a harder question. If I continue this pregnancy knowing he may never be involved, can I accept that reality, and can I believe that I can still have this child a good life? I just don't know yet. I just don't know that I just don't want to make an irreversible decision because someone else is panicking about the consequences of his own actions. Oh my gosh, that's deep. What I have to say is, to be honest, this is a very sticky situation. Like, I think I would have a better answer if she knew of the girlfriend, but she didn't know of the girlfriend. She thought that he was single and that she was just hooking up with her ex just because there was still some type of feelings there. And she finds out that he has a girlfriend. She didn't say how long. Did she say how long they were together? No, she didn't say how long they were together. Like, his girlfriend. I don't know how long they were together, but that fact, he hid that from her And I'm sure he hid that from her so that he can have access to her in that way. He also has 2 children by her from when they were married, and yet this third child he does not want. So I think what bothers me the most is that he's basically saying that he is going to be in the lives of the 2 children that he had with her while they were married. But in his eyes, the third kid doesn't count because they weren't married and he's in a relationship. It's just, like I said before, how are you able to make these kind of decisions and see nothing wrong with it? And my thing is like, that always end up living like beautiful lives with their partners. And I always wonder, like, have any kind of guilt about it afterward? Like, you ever think of that child and think, man, if the circumstances were different, I would love the heck out of you. Do you hate that kid because that child reminds you of your F up? Like, what actually is it? And not only that, but why are you okay with knowing that you gave life to a human being and then you never, like, crazy, bro. Like, yeah, y'all, my phone ran out of storage. Basically, what I was saying is that I just don't understand. It's like, people can be so evil, and I just feel bad for her. I feel bad for this mother because she doesn't know what to do, and she's basically stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, one end, I'm really irritated with her because it's like, you now know what the circumstances are, right? You now know that he has a baby, he has a girlfriend. You also know that he doesn't want anything to do with the child. He told you that ahead of time. And at the same time, you have 2 other kids. So you knowing all this information, plus you're single, so you would end up being a single mother. It's situations like this that make you feel as if the mother is selfish. But at the same time, you can see why they did it. And so it just makes it really hard to be mad at you. But also, once again, you're kind of selfish in a way, because if you choose to have your baby, it will be a bit selfish, right? Now, there are a lot of different things that could go on. In fact that because of what he said, your child could potentially end up presenting either you or his father. Why would you want that? Why would you want to wait until your kid wakes up one day, gets older, and decides like, mama, I wasn't here. You know what I mean? Like, you might wonder what kind of person they might become and all this other stuff, but at the same time, you're nowhere near that time. You're thinking of a future that hasn't even happened yet. Like, you can't even see the future. You're willing to put both yourself and all of your kids in a tough situation because of guilt. But at the same time, I understand. And I think that's what's so freaking hard about this shit. It's the decision that you make. Either way is dire. But at the same time, irritating. I'm not gonna, he is such an ass. Like, horrible. He's so horrible because it's not your fault. Like, I think, yeah, my opinion might be a little strong, but it's not her fault. It's just that she's pregnant. But at the same time, it is, but it's not. Because even though you had birth control, you didn't put on protection. So birth control isn't guaranteed. Even the doctor tells you that. Even the manual tells you that. So it was a bit irresponsible on your part. We know his part. We know his irresponsibility came in. But do you know where yours came in, I guess, is the question. Because, yeah, he said what he said. Yeah, what he did. But knowing that y'all were divorced, you still went and slept with that man. Knowing that your birth control could potentially not work this time around. And now you're saying, knowing all this information and knowing what the possibilities could be for the future, you don't know if you would want to abort your child. It's a bit I do in that situation. I don't know. It's easier said than done from the outside looking in. But truth be told, I don't know what I would do. Really don't. I don't know if I would be mad. I'd be pissed. I'd be freaking pissed. And then on top of that, when I have my kid, would I love my kid? Absolutely. But I'd be mad at myself for having them, because I know that if I'm not financially in the right place to be able to afford all them damn kids by myself, I just put my children in a crappy position. And then I will feel even worse for the kids that I had prior to this, because they're used to a whole different lifestyle. And now that I have a third kid, they can no longer live the life they're used to living. Y'all, like this, come on. We need to start making better decisions. Like, all jokes aside, better decisions need to be had, because I'm not trying to go in on her. I'm really not. But I think there needs to be a responsibility on her part. Because yes, we know where he messed up at. Like, we read it. But we also need to acknowledge where she messed up at. And you tell she's going through all the motions, and she's putting the pieces together about the possibility and about what, but it's just, I don't know, y'all. Let's just make better decisions, and let's be better people. Let's stop cheating. Let's stop leading people on. Let's stop being selfish. Let's stop getting pregnant by people that we know ain't shit. Do that. Man, I've been talking so much. My lip gloss my lip liner done came off. If anybody knows a good lip liner, let me know. Because right now I'm just using the ones from Beauty Supply Store. And I think that concludes the video. Talking way too much. I'm having loads of tongue twisters, whatever. I can't even talk right now. I liked this video. I did. And there's a lot of lessons within it. And I hope y'all learned those lessons. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you like, subscribe, comment, and heck, tell me your guys' stories if you have any. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, I want the tape, and you can go ahead and put it down in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, love you guys. Don't forget to smile.